Welcome to Menopause Moguls podcast, the Elevation Talk series, with yours truly, Dr. Joyelle. I am Dr. Joyelle, the Menopause Mogul, board certified OBGYN and business coach for Black women 40 and over. And my mission is to educate, embolden, and empower Black women and other women of color in their journey through health and careers. This is a space for Black women and other women of color to share their compelling trials and tribulations in their health and or in their careers and businesses. This is where we recognize the humanity of Black women and show how Black women continue to elevate despite midlife challenges and changes. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Menopause Moguls. Today, I wanted to talk to you all about how menopause makes you ready. Now, I know you think you're not ready. You think you're not ready to pivot. You think you're not ready to do something different, do something you've never done before. You think you're not ready to build a business. And you probably think you're not ready because of menopausal symptoms, whether it's night sweats, brain fog. You think you're not ready because of midlife changes, challenges with your children, you taking care of aging parents. You probably think menopause, perimenopause, midlife circumstances are roadblocks to your dreams of building a business. But I want to submit to you that that is not true. Menopause actually makes you ready. And I thought about this for a couple of reasons. There was a conversation on the way home with my kids, and my son, who's 8, he said, I don't remember what we were talking about, but he was saying, he's in the 3rd grade. So he was saying that, I want to skip 6th grade. I want to skip 5th grade so I can go right into 6th grade. And 6th grade, typically, that's when middle school starts. So my middle schooler, my daughter, who's 12, she's in 7th grade. She's like, oh no, you do not want to skip 5th grade. You do not want to jump into middle school sooner than you have to, because it's a roller coaster. She called middle school a roller coaster. And my initial thought, perimenopause. So perimenopause is similar to middle school. So if you pass middle school, you can get through perimenopause. I know, y'all, stay with me. So she went on to say, it's a roller coaster. There's always drama. Like, she's had some issues with a couple of friends. This friend didn't like her for some silly reason, and then this friend didn't like her for some silly reason. She was friends with this one person one day, and then the next day they're not friends again. So it was a lot of drama in her friend group. There was a lot of emotions that came with that. And then she also, in middle school, she also started to have to change more classes, during the school day. Now she has an A day and B day, which is also new. Obviously more homework, right? So she also had to learn to study differently, right? So she had her one habit of studying like the night before and like the night before the test, and I'm good, go take the test, and she gets an A. Fine. I'm like, girl, like, you can't, this is not sustainable. You're going to have to develop a different study skill. So she had to learn how to study, discipline herself to study kind of leading up to the test as opposed to the day before. So she has to unlearn one thing and learn how to do it differently so she can do well on her exams. She's also in the midst, she's 12, even though she started her period when she was 10 and a half, she's still learning herself, right? Still learning her body's still going through changes. So she's still learning those things, right? So, and we have multiple conversations. We talk a lot, and I am thankful that she is able to come talk to me and ask me anything. And I really was intentional about creating that type of relationship, because I remember growing up with my mom, I could not ask her anything. And it, because I was just like, there was no asking. I would just kind of just guess it, ask my friends and move along. Right. So I didn't feel comfortable coming to her. So I really try to make it comfortable for my children to come to me with anything. So with all that, you know, we have conversations about what's going on, what she's dealing with, what she doesn't like, what can she change, and all these things. And I'm discussing, you know, this process of middle school and how it's actually preparing her for high school, right? It's preparing her for her next level. So when you think about perimenopause, and I think about my own perimenopause journey, right? I had mind drama, all the, you know, I have brain fog. I'm trying to figure how I'm going to remember things when I'm seeing patients in the office, dealing with a lot of emotions, night sweats, irritability, bouts of frustration, anger, snipping at the children, snipping at the husband, you know, for just kind of silly reasons. So I think about all of that with my own journey and how I had to unlearn different things, including ignoring my symptoms, right? In the beginning, I just ignored them. I'm like, I don't have time to address them. I got to do this over here with the kids. I got to do this over here for my patients, like all the things. So I had to unlearn that and learn how to prioritize myself and take care of me. And so I can get off the struggle bus that I was on and into the next level, next version of myself where I was actually thriving. And thinking about that journey, how that journey prepared me and positioned me to build my business, right? Positioned me to do the things that I needed to do and take the steps I needed to take in order to build my business, invest in myself, invest in coaching so I can build the businesses, all these things. So it's preparing me for it prepared me for my next level in my midlife season, right? In these midlife years. And perimenopause also prepared me to be able to get back up again and again after this whole post-COVID craziness, right? Like all the ebbs and flows of now my long COVID, that journey through perimenopause allowed me to get back up again. When I fell, you know, all the way down, just broke down through this whole COVID thing, right? So what I learned and unlearned in my perimenopause journey prepared me and made me ready to take on this whole long COVID. And now this long COVID journey, again, another transition, another thing that I had to, again, relearn myself and figure out what my body needs and what triggers it and things like that. It also has positioned me to do bigger things and to be more intentional about what I want and how I want to serve, right? And how I want to show up in the world. And so thinking about all of that, midlife changes, challenges, circumstances, it makes us ready for our next version. In the moment when we're struggling, we're on the struggle bus and everything feels like it's crashing on, it does feel like it does not make us ready because we feel like a hot damn mess. And I get that. But thinking back and just think about to where I was and where I am now, I believe that it actually made me ready for what I am still yet to do in this next level of my life. I just was at a round table. Okay, I was invited to a private round table, y'all. Okay, so someone reached out to, well, on LinkedIn. So I got a request for a LinkedIn connection. And those of you who are on LinkedIn, people request to connect with you, and you can accept or decline the request. And I am really intentional about who I connect with on LinkedIn, because I just don't go just say yes to just any old body. I gotta check you out, see who you are, see what you're about, and see if you align with, what my values are, what I'm doing, and see how we can support each other, right? So this person sent a request, and I'm like, okay. So I click on her profile, and I'm like, oh, okay, she works for The Hill. All right. And I also, ask God about everything that I do. I'm like, all right, God, what do you think? What do you think about this one? Right. And I said, okay, I'm going to accept the request. And then shortly after, I got an email from this same person inviting me to a private roundtable in DC to talk about menopause and creating policy in the workplace around menopause and destigmatizing menopause. So I was like, oh, okay. And again, I still had a conversation with God. I'm like, okay, is this a good move? Because every opportunity that is presented to you, I've learned that you don't have to say yes to. Even though it may look like an awesome thing, I am learning that I really have to be more intentional about what I say yes to, and in how that aligns with what I want and what I'm purposed to do, right? So I had the conversation with God. I'm like, all right, God, here's this opportunity. And like I said, she just said that there was a private round table. I don't know who else was going to be there. I'm like, who all going to be there? She didn't have any of that. She was like, look, I want to invite you to this round table. Are you interested? There will be you and some panelists, but she didn't give anybody names. So I had a conversation with God. I'm like, all right, God, what you think? So, yeah. He said, yeah, all right, do it. All right, fine. So I said, yes, of course. Obviously, the conversation, the content was what I'm here for, right? This is that's my jam. We talking about menopause? Okay, we talking about helping women? Oh, of course, right? So that aligned with what I'm doing, what I want to do. So I said yes. And then she's like, okay, great. I will send you more information as we get closer to the date. All right, cool. Didn't really think about it. And then probably a week and a half later, someone had posted there's other platforms, obviously, that I follow who are menopause advocates or organizations that support women in menopause. And this particular platform posted that First Lady Biden established a White House initiative for women's health research. This is the first White House initiative for women's health research to increase women's funding for women's health research. And I'm like, oh, that is awesome, right? And then I'm like, okay, the White House initiative, and then the person who reached out to me was from The Hill. We want to meet in DC. I'm like, oh, I wonder if this is connected. So probably after I saw that, a week later, I got an email from this person, and she's like, okay, here's the briefing of who is going to be there, what the talking points, and let me know if you have any questions. Cool. So I'm going down this list of people, and I'm like, wow, there are going to be members of Congress at this roundtable. There is going to be White House coordinator of women's health research going to be there. There are going to be other doctors who are doing amazing research and work for menopausal women. There are other menopause advocates that I've heard of, or that I've met, or that I've know of, that are also going to be there. Like, this is going to be freaking amazing. So I was glad I said yes to this, right? But not even when I thought about just going back to, my beginning stages of creating my platform, Menopause Moguls, I did not envision me sitting at a round table talking to members of Congress and other powerhouses in this menopause space to shed more light on menopause and midlife health. And I just, that just was not on my radar. So for God to present this opportunity for me, I was just in awe and just very honored to even be invited to the table. And I have to be honest, when I looked at all the other individuals that will be there, and I'm like, okay, so why was I invited? So they had my title, Dr. Joyelle Ballard, the Menopause Mogul. And so funny, when I got there, they give you a name tag, and then we had assigned seats. So I had our name with our title. Everybody's like, what's the Menopause Mogul? What's that? What is that about? And it just tickled me, because it's like, again, I did not just envision for me to get the opportunity to expand my reach even more to people that I never would think, like I never would have thought that I would be meeting somebody who's a congresswoman and a congressman. Like, what? just was not, just wasn't thinking that was a possibility or something that I would be doing, right? So menopause made me ready for that, y'all. My perimenopause journey made me ready for that. My long COVID journey made me ready for that, because after all the things that I've been through thus far, all the, not particularly the ups, but all the downs, all the struggles that I've had, all the challenges that I've had, and for me to be able to get through all of those things, the things that I had to do to get through it, positioned me to be invited to this round table, and then ultimately show up to this round table ready. And I also asked God, okay, what am I here? What is it that I need to, what is my voice? Like, what is my voice, purpose in this meeting? And that was to, share my perspective in regards to educating women, specifically Black women, representation of us in this menopause space. And that is what I spoke to, right? That is what, obviously that's what I'm passionate about. That's why I created Menopause Moguls podcast and my coaching program. This whole platform is really, providing a space for women to learn more about what's going on with their bodies, learn more about what's going on with their brains, so that they can do all the amazing things that they are being called to do. So to get to this point, perimenopause into my, menopause made me ready for this. So I wanted to share that with y'all. because there's always going to be challenges, right? I know that many of us, life be lifing. Things are going to happen. And I want to submit to you, when you are experiencing these challenges, God is positioning you to be even more resilient when more challenges come. Because it's always going to be a challenge, right? Always, always, always. It's always going to be something. Whether it's internally or externally outside of us, our children, taking care of our parents, family members, clients, patients, whatever that is, there's always going to be challenges, but God is positioning us and growing us and helping us to be even more resilient when bigger things come our way. When you feel like you're either being rejected in any sense, I want you to think God is positioning you for something better. When you feel like doors are closing, to opportunities that you thought that were for you. And I want you to think, well, God is actually positioning me for something better, something different, something bigger. So all of these things are making you ready for the next version of yourself. And I'm thinking about all the things that we go through, whether it's in a menopausal transition, whether it's other midlife circumstances. If we are able to adapt no matter what comes our way, and we are intentional about being able to adapt, and that is by truly taking care of ourselves and prioritizing us and our needs, we set ourselves up for doing just amazing things and really doing what God is calling us to do. So perimenopause, menopause makes you ready for the next version of you, for the next best version of you. So I have this challenge coming up, y'all. Actually, the time that this episode was actually, that's the day of when that challenge starts. So you can still sign up. My Midlife Business Mastery Challenge. Because I know some of you maybe saying like, okay, I don't think I'm ready, Dr. Joyelle, to start building a business in 2024. Like, I don't think I'm ready. And you don't think you're ready because of menopausal symptoms. You don't think you're ready because you don't, there's so many things going on in your life. And I'm telling you that all these things are actually making you ready. And joining this challenge will help you see that, and help you actually harness the power of all of that you're going through right now, so that you can take just even baby steps into building your business in 2024. So it's not too late. The challenge will start today, because this episode is dropping on Wednesday, December 13th. You can sign up for the challenge. Go to the show notes, click on the link to sign up for the challenge. It's from Wednesday to Friday. It's a 3-day free challenge. However, you can upgrade to VIP for $147 and get direct coaching based on your personal circumstances and challenges and whatever it is that's going on, so that you can tailor it to how you want to build your particular service-based business. So that VIP session will be on the Saturday following the challenge. But join the challenge, y'all. If you are being called to start a service-based business, if you are a Black woman 40 and over, if you are a woman of color 40 and over who want to start a service-based business, but don't feel like you're ready because insert menopausal symptoms, midlife changes, midlife circumstances, less confident, just don't feel good in your body, whatever that thing is, join the Midlife Business Mastery Challenge so that you can master your mind, master your brain, so that you can do all the audacious moves you are being called to do in 2024. Click the link and I will see you in the challenge. All right. All right, y'all. So that's what I wanted to share with you all, to just shift your mindset into menopause. Perimenopause, menopause actually makes you ready for the next version of you. And you can do anything that you are being called to do when you shift your mind into thinking that it's actually working for you as opposed to against you. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all in the challenge. Take care until next time.